Good morning. It's May the 18th, and this is The Drill. Thank you very much. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today, because I don't take my cues from the left. I will not pretend to be neutral. I will not simply give you the facts and let you decide, and I will not try to get in your psyche. I'm partisan. I'm here to convince and persuade, and I created this podcast to answer the question most asked by conservatives, namely, what can I do? My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to, and shorter podcasts force me to get to the point. I've been listening to conservative talk radio since '89. I've grown up in a socialist household and seen the destructive effects of socialism up close and personal. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. Today, what can I do? Quote of the day, and Phyllis George. All that when I come back. Thank you very much. What can I do? Give directly to campaigns. Do not donate to the Republican National Committee or either the Senate or House fundraising bodies. Donate directly to political campaigns. The fundraising bodies, to include the RNC, will only make sure that rhinos get nominated for office, people like Jeb Bush. We always complain that we have no real choices in elections, just more of the same. The way that you can give yourself a choice, give everyone a choice, is to take the power away from the RNC. And when you take away their power, you take away their power by making them poor. And next up, quote of the day. Thank you. The quote of the day comes from Emily Post's Etiquette. Quote, etiquette is fluid, not a set of rigid rules. Manners change over time and reflect the best practices of our times. Etiquette isn't a set of prescriptions for properness, but merely the guidelines for doing things in ways that make people feel comfortable. Unquote. Up next, Phyllis George. Thank you very much. Phyllis George died yesterday after a lengthy illness. Phyllis George was crowned Miss America and was the First Lady of Kentucky and a color commentator for CBS. She worked with Brett Musburger. She was the first woman to comment on NFL games. Miss George was obviously hired for her Miss America good looks. Miss George had no athletic experience and no experience as a color commentator or as a newswoman. The only experience that Mrs. Brown, her married name, had was as a beauty pageant contestant. CBS assumed that if the network put a beautiful woman on the television screen, that more men would watch their games. This is more evidence that when it comes to sex, it is men that have been exploited all along. Back in a minute. Who is the true conservative? He's the person that has the courage of his convictions and is confident in what he knows. He is the person that understands that cultural conservatism is more important than political conservatism. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He is patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He's consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He's a normal American and better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you are wasting your time. And that brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it.